Right, so it's Monday morning. I've got some coffee, some proper coffee for a change. And we've survived the weekend, I suppose. Yet another weekend. I'll try and keep this short, but it's unlikely that that's going to be the case. So the weekend of chaos, the weekend of chasing around doing municipal work so that residents could have some electricity because of power failures, because of cable theft, because of all sorts of reasons. We still have a situation where some of the residents don't have power. A great deal of that is because of poor communication and, well, not only poor communication, but I'll talk about poor communication just now in terms of the municipality and the council and the members of the mayoral committee and the mayor and the heads of department and the city manager, because that's where the buck actually stops. The city manager, or maybe we should call that job the city mismanager, because that's what's been happening, and it's what's happening at the moment. Let's go back to the community stuff. The community, we are fortunate enough to have a number of able-bodied people, mostly men, with the knowledge, with enough knowledge that we can sort things out. We've got enough experience at doing things in terms of municipal infrastructure and all of that allow us to get things working, which is pretty important, and it stops people bleating and jumping up and down. And man, are there a lot of people that are bleating. You know, this is another thing that I alluded to in one of the other videos, that people should by now actually be aware to the point of knowing that things are not improving. They are only getting worse. The track record dictates that the wheels will fall off shortly. There are some wheels missing already. And people, wake up. It's that simple. Just wake the hell up, because it's not going to get better. If you're sitting expecting that the electrical supply is going to end up being stabilized and sorted out and everything's going to be groovy, you're delusional. If you think that the water supply is going to be constant and clean, and you are delusional. Go see someone about that. Get some counseling, take some meds, do whatever you have to do, but make peace with it, because it's not getting better. It's that simple. It will not get better in the short term. I don't understand how it is that people think that it's going to get better when the problem is dealt with by the same people that have caused the problem. You can chant about unicorns and rainbows all you want. It doesn't make unicorns real. Rainbows happen because of physics. Nothing else. Okay? You can pray about it all you want. You can wish it all you want. You can lament the fact that it used to be a different way. It changes nothing. So wake up, catch up. Just get on top of it, man, because while you're not on top of it, you're contributing to the problem by bleating about it, and it doesn't do anything for anyone. So the weekend of chaos, yeah, we're lucky enough to have enough people that would rally together and get stuff done and get up in the trees and cut trees off lines and all of that stuff. And we were lucky enough to have a tame electrician, a municipal electrician, to open up one of the links and all of that. so we could get some power restored to some of the area. But not everyone is restored, and not everyone's power is restored. And we have a situation that yet again just highlights more of the problem, and that is communication, the lack of communication with any of the municipal management, whether it's the head of department, whether it's the MMC, whether we can't expect to talk to the mayor because she is kept away religiously from people like me, and can't have someone like that having to answer some questions that someone like me would ask, because that's just not cricket in politics. So the mayor, if you're watching, come and talk, because if you want to fix the problem, we can help you fix the problem. If you just want to go through the motions, and this applies to everybody actually, this applies to anyone that's in any of that management structure, any of the heads of department, any of those type of people. If you want to fix the problem, come and talk to us, because we know what the problems are. You've got other problems. You've got political problems. You've got problems in a house of absolute disorder. You have to navigate this little political minefield and thread needles and stuff like that. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in fixing the damn problem and continuing to live relatively peacefully. I think something that you people might have lost sight of is that there needs to be some degree of balance, some semblance of harmony. We pay money, we get a service. Right now, it's we pay money, we get serviced. That's not cool. That's not sustainable. You've got to ask yourself, when the money runs out, what are you going to do for a job? You'll find as well that the people that are making things happen here at ground level don't want that job. That's why they're effective at it. That's why we do what we do. It's why we do what we can do. It's because we want the outcome. We don't want any damn glory for it. We don't want any thanks for it. We just want the lights to come on when the switch gets turned on. We just want the water to come out the tap when the tap gets opened. That's actually all we want. And you do well to think about that, because from the point of view of sustainability, you're going down a road into a cul-de-sac. You're not coming back from it. You have to think about or you don't have to, but we do, those of us that are paying for that service, and let's be pretty straightforward about it. We actually employ you. Those of us that pay our rates and taxes religiously, we actually employ you. You are an employee of the people. Somehow that's gotten out of kilter to the point where you don't think that relationship exists. And I don't think that's a good thing. Ask yourself, if you were to employ someone like you, would you keep employing them? Would you get rid of them? Do you think that by employing someone like you could get things done? And if the answer is yes, then you too have a problem with reality. If the answer is no, then you need to start asking why. Is it the system that you operate within? And if it is, then you need to start asking questions about that system and why you tolerate the way it is broken and so on. So there are many questions for us, but also for you. I think something, coming back to the point about communication, I think something that really concerns me is the lack of communication. We could have sorted out a problem yesterday in under an hour. I think we could have actually fixed the problem that started on Friday morning at 11 a.m. It's now Monday morning, 8 a.m. You do the maths, and work out if you think that that time period for there to be no electricity or any other services related to that, if you think that that is acceptable, well, maybe you need to up your standards. Maybe you need to start you need to start reconsidering what it is you provide in the way of service and what you think of as acceptable levels of service. I don't think it is. And I'm sure there's lots of guidelines laid down that are based on all sorts of experience. But you might want to revise those as well, because I don't think those are very good guidelines. Getting back again to the communication, the lack of communication indicates a few things. And mainly, it indicates an avoidance type issue. It's like we get the impression that you don't communicate, and this is a general you don't communicate because if you do, then you have to maybe admit some responsibility or accountability, or give a reason, or give a reason of why something is not happening the way it should be happening, and that indicates a flaw in the system, which indicates other things, all sorts of nefarious intent, actually, when you drill it down to a point where you're now dealing with facts. But communication is a key component of all of this failing, and that someone up the ladder thinks that the system is working well enough that they do not have to communicate with people that are actually affected by the problem, that is concerning. And it indicates either incompetence or questionable or malicious intent. If you think it indicates anything else, I would invite you to explore that. Take a piece of paper and write some facts down. Actually break it down properly and think carefully about what it is you are doing that is contributing to the problem. And if you are absolutely honest with yourself, and you will have to be, and that'll be a challenge because you've gotten to this point in the position that you are, wherever you are positioned in that system. And I'm talking to the heads of department and the members of the mayoral committee, and I'm talking to the mayor, and I'm talking to the city manager, and I'm talking to all of these people, all of you people. I'm talking to you. Now, if you break it down far enough and are absolutely honest with yourself, you'll find the problem. I don't think you will find the problem, though, because I don't think you're able to be honest about yourself, your life, your role in things, your role in the way things are unfolding. And that's very sad, because that means that you are complicit. You are contributing to the problem, and you are complicit. It's that simple. So, sadly, we don't yet again find a solution to the problem, other than being able to sit down and have some honest dialogue, and then take some action on that. And that in itself, I think, is a tall order. I don't know that anyone. Well, let me offer the challenge to you. Here's the challenge. I will assemble a team of people that are quite happy to have meaningful, constructive dialogue. Not moaning, not throwing stones and bricks and pitchforks, none of that. Sitting down and working out how to rectify the system. There's my challenge to you. Sit down, rectify the system by talking to us, the people that actually are affected by it. Now, if you have the gumption to examine your ability to be honest with yourself and with everyone else, obviously, then you might accept the offer. I'm not holding my breath, though, because I'm not sure that you're interested in fixing the problem. I think you are content with where you are positioned in the system, unfortunately. Coffee's finished. Need more coffee. The offer's there. Fix things. Talk. And if you refuse the offer, if you avoid the offer, then I wish for you to develop the ability to be honest enough to at least admit to yourself, or the people that come after you, the children that come after you, admit to them why you stuffed it up. Now, we can psychoanalyze the hell out of that. It's probably pointless, because it's unlikely that you'd like to listen to the truth.